Hey, what's going on, everybody? The microphone, video broken again, but it was working moments ago, I promise. Hello, happy Sunday, hope you're doing well. Alright, what's going on with the video this time? Go. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I am here. I'm just having problems with the video yet again. Hey Chrissy Codes, good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. We'll get the video fixed here at some point. Let me try unplugging the camera and plugging it back in yet again. As I get this thing going. Down. It says it's busy. Not an OBS either. Alright, I might have to stop streaming and start streaming again because OBS is being a pain with camera. Yet again. At this point, I don't know whether it's OBS that's having a problem or if it is the camera that's having a problem. Or something in between. You are the first. Yes, you are. Well, you are the first one to redeem the first today. So yes, in that scenario, you are indeed first. So thanks for dropping by. What the heck? Why won't this camera work? Right, we will try it yet again. Let's unplug it again. Try plugging it in again. That worked. Yet this does not. There's another application is using the camera, but nothing else is using the camera. Why does it think I'm trying to use the camera? I'm going to try changing the scene back to this for here. If that doesn't deactivate the camera, it must deactivate. OBS is being a real pain in the butt. If you have not yet upgraded to OBS 28, hold off on the upgrade. I think somewhere between OBS 28 and the software that I'm trying to use to fix all the camera nonsense, something is definitely not working. So let me try it again. Camera in any application. But the camera not being used in the application. Something thinks it's. Let's try this again. I think when I get back from my trip, I'm going to completely wipe my system and start it all over again. Reinstall everything from scratch and just start a whole new OBS thing. This is really taking me off. But hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Feel free to drop some questions in chat. Aside from what's wrong with the camera and why can't we see Ian, feel free to drop any sort of question around interview prep or career prep, anything along those lines. I'm more than happy to address. I'm going to shut off software that's controlling my microphone as well for a moment because I think I need to restart that. This would probably be a lot easier if Windows would allow us to have multiple applications access a piece of hardware at a time. That's part of the problem. I believe that's part of the problem. Let me try stopping that software. No, it still thinks that the camera's busy. That just worked. Oh. Alright. I have to stop the software, which is... Oh, there I am. Wow, I'm really, really bright. Hello, everybody. Me try and adjust my light levels yet again. Come on, there we are. This. Hey, now I look sort of normal. As normal as it can be. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Remember me? I'm Ian, the author of this website, Tech Interview Guide. Thanks for dropping by. We finished our Dark Saber. You can see it up here behind me. So we finished the Dark Saber the other day and had a lot of fun with that. I definitely recommend this company, Bricker Builds. They're based in Canada, and they made a really great kit. It was a little spendy, but I got it on a giveaway from the Amish Ace channel here on Twitch, and had a lot of fun building it and putting it together. The new 3D printer is coming along. I got a good chunk of it kind of built up. I got to run the actual belts on the thing now, so you get all this belt material to actually put in there. Let's see what else is going on. Giveaway. It's giveaway time. So bang giveaway. Get in on that giveaway for the day. I showed everybody Mr. Deadpool the other day. So Deadpool was one of our giveaways at the end of the month, and I've been having fun with the new printer. Oh, let me go get one more print. One sec. Something. Turn my microphone. There we go. I'll be right back. All right. So one of my favorite multicolor prints that I did a couple of years ago was this Om print, and his eyeballs and his teeth are actually a glow in the dark, but his little antenna broke off. I decided to remake him on the new printer in a slightly different color green. So now we have Om with an antenna, but his eyeballs are just bright white. His teeth are just bright white. They're not the glow in the dark one, because glow in the dark's a little more pale. But we made an Om, and came out all right. Could be a little better. But to really stress test this new printer as part of the giveaway, so get in on that giveaway, do ! Giveaway, because we're going to do the daily giveaway. I've got all those kit cards. I decided to stress test the printer, and got back into printing some dragons. So these dragons on my other printer would take anywhere from 26 to 40 hours depending on the quality. This one printed in 9 hours on the new printer, so it was extremely fast, and the quality of it came out just as good as the other printer, but in a fraction of the time. So I think today we're going to give away Mr. Dragon here. That'll be our giveaway for today. Is this really cool? It's called a dark rainbow sparkle filament. I don't know if you'll be able to tell the sparkle on here or not. You can see a little bit in his face. But it's got this really cool, like, light blue sort of sparkle all throughout the filament. It looks really fantastic. You need to hit it with a heat gun because there's a little bit of stringing on there. But that's going to be our giveaway for today. I will ship this whomever wins. So feel free to ! Giveaway. Get in on that giveaway for today. We've still got the kit cards as well. So if you'd rather have a kit card, we've got the Star Wars toys, we've got the Star Trek toys. I did get through to Subsector 3D, who was generous and gave us a really cool raid the other day. And in that raid, we had a whole bunch of people enter the giveaway, and then I drew Subsector's name, and Subsector had already left by that point. So I was on Subsector 3D's stream yesterday and said, "Hey, you won. Send me your details." So she said she would send her details, and I'll get her some Star Trek stuff. I said I promise it'll probably, definitely, maybe not be Star Wars. So she got a good chuckle out of that. I might slip one Star Wars thing in the package. We'll see. But I told her I'd send her some Star Trek stuff for sending in the raid, and the fact that I had drawn her name and so on. But yeah, we got these cool little kit cards. It'll just make these cool little 3D printed toys, and they're all just little pieces on a kit card, and you just assemble it yourself. I got a bunch of them packaged up. I didn't get to the post office yesterday, but I did get some stuff packaged up. So I'll be sending that stuff out tomorrow morning. I will be getting to the post office. I'm going to get that stuff out, and then I'm offline for the rest of the week. I'm going to probably do like an off-hour stream tomorrow. I've got another Lego kit that I want to start, and it is the trench run from the original Star Wars movie. So I'm going to start building that one on the off hours stream. So I'll be doing that tomorrow night. Or maybe tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, somewhere in there. So I'm going to start on that one tomorrow, and then I'm going to be offline most of the week. So I won't be streaming Thursday night. Next week, I am not going to Las Vegas like I thought I was. So Sunday, we're going to have a guest on the stream named Rohit, who was supposed to be on the stream a while back, and we weren't able to connect. And so Rohit's going to be on the stream next Sunday. Next Thursday, not this coming Thursday, but the following week Thursday, the 26th, I think, I was supposed to have Till Carlos on the stream. And Till was supposed to be on the stream a while back. They're based out in Vietnam, or they go between Vietnam and somewhere in the Middle East, if I recall. And they weren't able to make it to the stream either. And so we rescheduled for next Thursday, but I'm actually going to be in San Jose. So I'll be in San Jose for a conference out there. And so I'm not going to be streaming next Thursday night. But I'm going to catch up on all the giveaway streams and stuff to make sure that we get lots of giveaways in for the month. So yeah. So get in on the giveaway. Do !giveaway if you're hanging out in chat. We got about 10 people in chat right now. Feel free to get in on that giveaway. Chrissy Codes, if you're still around, get in on that giveaway. Jay Brinker, good to see you. Good afternoon for you as well. It's still morning here in Colorado, but not for much longer. Throw a Star Wars one in, yeah. So Jay Brinker, I'll probably put one Star Wars in there and be like, "Oops, I got them mixed up. My apologies." I think we'll probably get a laugh out of it and then like burn it, but we'll see. Throw like a land speeder or something in there. Like, I could have swore that Star Trek had like hover vehicles as well, don't they? Well, dude says, I'm surprised they got Wolverine to come back for the new Deadpool. I'm not. I think that's actually been in the plan for a while. I think the way that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds have been kind of going back and forth on each other, I think it was a matter of time. It was just a matter of time. But yeah, I'm happy as well that they were able to kind of work out some kind of deal. And I saw in comic book news, if you follow comic book news, Deadpool is now officially considered a mutant, where before I think he was considered like a biologically created, enhanced, kind of person, similar to Spider-Man. But now they're actually classifying him as a mutant or something. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see for sure. She-Hulk ended this week. Finale was kind of meh in my opinion, but overall pretty good series. We'll see where it goes from here. Kind of curious what's going to happen with the whole Abomination. Anyway, good to have everybody come by. I do have to get those resume reviews reposted that we did on Thursday. We got through a lot of resume reviews. We had a couple of raids come in. We had a lot of people drop by and swing by. It was like a really, really good audience for Thursday night. So I want to get those uploaded, and I think I've got all the videos separated. Let me double check. I'll start that upload while I'm here. I was reading through the Twitch terms of service, and apparently you're supposed to wait 24 hours before you put your VOD on any other platform. So technically I'm supposed to be waiting 24 hours to upload the videos. I used to upload them like as soon as the stream was over. We'd raid out into some other channel and I would immediately start uploading the video. Apparently now apparently all along we've been supposed to wait 24 hours. So I want to make sure that I'm adhering to their terms of use and so on. But we do get a lot of additional views on YouTube after the fact. So if you want to go check out the YouTube channel, you're welcome to go check that out. Some of these cleaned up. I don't know if I got those two load. And it did separate out the other resume review. I'll have to go back and watch those, but the other resume reviews, they get separated out. So the new clip mechanism that I made where I start and stop a clip. That's actually working really, really well, and it actually isolates those videos for me right away. But I need to go back and rewatch those, because one of them was like, we started a resume review and then we had a raid come in or something, and so I stopped and addressed everybody else, and then I restarted the clip. So I need to go back and figure out which one of those I don't upload. I've got 7 of those clips, but only one of them, or only 6 of them are the actual resume. So I'll get those double checked and I'll get those uploaded to you today. But yeah, we had a lot of good time, and then I had one more resume come in after that. So I'm gonna queue up more resumes. So if you'd like a resume review, you're welcome to drop those on this link over here. Just go ahead and upload the link, or upload the resume at this link. The only thing I ask is that you anonymize your email address and your phone number, and I'll queue up another batch of resumes, and we'll do those maybe on one of the off-hour streams week after this week. So not this coming week, because I'll be offline, but I'll be back Saturday afternoon. I might stream Saturday night. I'll stream definitely Sunday for sure, because we're gonna have Rohit on the stream. And then Tuesday morning, I think I fly to San Jose. I'll be back Thursday night, so I won't be streaming Thursday night. So I'll probably see if I can get a stream in Friday next week. Resume reviews then. So we'll try to get more resume reviews in before the end of the month. So feel free to send over more resumes, and we'll definitely get those on there. Kendall asks, is that still a thing for affiliates? It's a thing for everybody, apparently. If you record your video, you're not supposed to upload it to YouTube for 24 hours. There is a way within the Twitch dashboard that you can go in and you can actually specify, like you can link your YouTube account, and you can tell Twitch to export your video to YouTube. I'm surprised they don't put the 24-hour thing on there saying, you gotta wait like 24 hours. They'll just let you do it immediately. Apparently that's against their terms of service. You're allowed to broadcast on multiple channels at the same time, but if you only broadcast to Twitch, you're not supposed to put it on the other major competitor platforms like YouTube 24 hours later. So when I was streaming to Facebook, for example, like we used to stream to LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitch, and we got 0 engagement on Facebook, so I stopped streaming to Facebook because it was taking up a lot of extra bandwidth and we had no engagement there. And same thing with LinkedIn. We get a couple of people viewing, a couple of people chatting in, but I don't have any way of bringing the LinkedIn chat into here for everybody to see, like all over here in like one big chat sort of screen, which is what I pay attention to while I'm streaming. I'm watching the chat, kind of looking roughly towards the camera up there. But there was no way to sort of consolidate all of the chat together. I know other platforms do that for you, but I haven't gone through the effort of like building that out myself. So we'll figure that out someday. But for now, I think I'm probably just going to stay on Twitch. I'll just upload the YouTube after the fact. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. What else is going on with everybody this weekend? So Findall's in the giveaway. Findall says good evening. Good evening to you as well. Still morning over here for a little bit. And how are we doing for our giveaway today so far? We only had a couple of entries in here, right? We only got 2 entries. There's 11 of you in chat, so feel free to get in on that giveaway. So yeah, today's giveaway we're gonna do another one of the dragons, like we did back in May. So get in on the giveaway, and I will box up this Imperial Dragon. So the Imperial Dragon style, go off of here. So it all prints all in one piece like this. But once you get it off the plate, it articulates and moves. You can kind of see it's already starting to move a little bit as I prepare to get it off of here. Sometimes they stick on here pretty good. There you go. Go. Get a few of these little strands off of here. The neat thing about this Imperial Dragon is the Flexi Factory who designed this. That's the name of the company. They actually planned this out so it's quite long. It's pretty big. But they actually planned it in a way that these little spikes on their back actually interlock to make the dragon stand up. And so they made it in a way that it'll actually stand up on itself. But this is called their Imperial Dragon. Those will be our giveaway for today. Unless you want one of the kit cards, happy to send you some kit cards. But otherwise, this will be our giveaway for today. So this is a dark rainbow filament. And all I mean by dark rainbow is it's like darker colors than like the usual like really bright silky kind of thing type of filament. This filament's much lighter. You can actually see the infill pattern on the bottom of the tail. Well, actually, I guess you can't. Well, you can't see it in direct light, but you can kind of see the crosshatch pattern that's going on inside there. It's actually quite see-through, but it's also got this really cool sparkle kind of color in there. But yeah, this printed in 9 hours on the new printer, as opposed to 26 to 40 hours on the other printers. So printed much faster. So this will be our giveaway for today. So get on that giveaway. Got 13 people. Still only 2 of you in the giveaway. So exclamation point giveaway. We're gonna give away that dragon today, just as some little special, some little extra. Feel free to do that and get in on the chat if you got questions. Otherwise, I'm going to pull up Discord and we're going to go finally, hopefully, going to get through some of our anonymous questions in Discord that we've been waiting on for a little while. Let's see. I'm going to head over there. If you want to come join us on Discord, here's the link to our Discord community. You're welcome to come by and join us over there. There's a lot of job seekers and things like that. There's different introductions and stuff like that. People have been asking questions about LeetCode and about how to build out projects and things like that. So feel free to join in the community over there. One of the channels that we have over there is called Anonymous Question. So what I do is I collect questions that people ask me on various platforms, or if you reach out to me on the socials, I'll give you the link to the socials over here. So people that reach out to me on LinkedIn and Twitter, I'm just same username is here at IanDouglas736. So people DM me questions on LinkedIn or on Twitter, or we'll get on a phone call, and I'll basically summarize their question and I put it in the anonymous questions channel on Discord. And then just that way, if I come into a stream like today, it's like, hey, you know what? Let's do some anonymous questions today. Then I've got questions on hand. I have to like sit and think of hypothetical things. And I've got like real questions to go through. I still want to build out some automation around that where if people ask an anonymous question, it'll show up in the Discord over there, and then I want to build like an exclamation point Q, like literally the letter Q for myself, that it'll like pull one of those questions out for us. That's my goal, is to automate as much of this as possible. Love doing that kind of automation in Python. Never built a Discord bot or any sort of Discord connection kind of thing, so I do want to get in on that at some point and figure out how do we automate a little bit more of this. That if you've all got questions, how can we put that over and over again in Discord? That bot is at. Where did the button get stuck? I don't think the button got stuck. Nope. Why did that show up as my name for join us on Discord? Weird. Again, I want to like wipe all this and start it all over again because something is reminding everybody to join us on Discord. Strange. Anyway. So yeah, so I'm going to grab some anonymous questions out of Discord for today. If you want to join us on Discord, you're welcome to. Somebody just dropped in. Victory. See you on Discord. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, so if you want resume reviews, you can drop a resume on Discord, or you can send it over to the link that I posted earlier here in chat. And if you want that again, you can just do bang resume, and it'll come up with that. Or you can do bang resume sample, and it'll show you a Google Doc where you can get like little samples of how I'd like to do headers, how I like to talk about employment, and how I do projects and things like that. You can do bang resume sample, and there you go. Oh, I know why this is coming up. StreamerBot decided to work again, so whenever I say Discord, it's automatically putting this thing over here. Alright, so if I keep saying the word Discord over and over again, it's going to pop up over here in chat because it's finally recognizing my voice, finally paying attention to the things I say. So if I talk about a resume sample, we should get that Google Drive link over here in chat again. All right, so that's StreamerBot doing that. That's why it's showing up as me. That makes sense. All right. That's the problem with automating things, is sometimes you forget what you automate, and then this stuff just happens, and you're like, how did that happen? Why does that happen? So thanks for dropping by. Yeah, let's jump into some anonymous questions. I'll be running clips as we go, so just ignore what's going on over here in chat. But generally, I don't pay attention to other stuff going on in chat while I'm recording these smaller clips, because the smaller clips go up on YouTube. I should probably move that turner out of the way, but I think it's fine. The other thing that I didn't do is update. Let me go do that actually while I'm here. I didn't update our content up here at the top of the screen for the fundraiser. I haven't done that in a little bit. Let me go get those details, update everybody on that's going. I haven't done that in a minute. Let me show you how to do that. Actually, do you actually want me to show you how I do this? I'm happy to actually show you my process for this and how I have the website and everything set up. Let's go do that. I don't mind being transparent about this kind of stuff. Let me go get my PS code for the tech interview guide. There we are. So I do the website for a tech interview guide in Markdown, and I use a static site generator called Hugo, written in Go. The static site generator is written in Go. I don't modify the Hugo software at all, but it's nice to know that it's open source. If I really wanted to get in and tweak, I could. But one of the things I decided to do is actually, instead of like coming in here and like modifying all those values on the website myself, so you can do exclamation point money over here. That'll give you the link that basically this is the page that that gets generated from there. So if we come over to the actual website over here, I've got the financial transparency page, and the markdown that I just showed you in the editor is what builds out this page, where it's coming through and it says, this is how much money I've made on subs, Prime subs, gift subs, how much I've made on ads, and so on. But I actually haven't updated this in a while. Haven't been paid for any resume reviews because I've been doing them free on the stream. Also, if you go to a code school, if you're part of 100 Devs, I'll do a private resume review for you free. But if you do pay the $50 for the resume review, it gets added into this group of money. All that money goes into the diversity fundraiser. Haven't made anything on YouTube yet because I'm still waiting to hit 100 or 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're following me here on Twitch, I would appreciate if you'd also follow me over on YouTube as well. Drop that link. That as well. If you can go subscribe to me over on YouTube, it would be a big help. And so this is all the money that you all are raising. This is me matching all of that money, and then how much money we got today. So we're getting close to $700. So what I will do is go over to my Twitch platform here, and we're going to go all the way through today. And this basically just recalculates like how much money I've actually made as a streamer. So here's all the values. And so what I can do is I can come back over to editor over here, and I can just start plugging those values in this JSON object. So I went from $75 paid subs to $725, and again, I appreciate all the subs. Prime subs only went up a little tiny bit. I think they prorate the amount of the Prime subs. Hey, Gina the Potato, good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Gifted subs stayed the same, $70.80. Made a little bit more on ad revenue, so $9.54. And then cheers, all those bits stayed the same. So when I come in here, basically I run Hugo, and I'm hosting this website for free on Firebase. And so that's going to go through. So the Hugo command here is basically what goes through, and it just recompiles that page from Markdown into HTML. And then Firebase deployed basically says go put live on the server. So then we'll get an updated total. And then back over on this page, I go in and I manually update that progress bar. So it's a little bit of manual work. I don't mind doing it because it also reminds me of like, hey, this is something I want to do on a regular basis. So, gonna lurk while you work on your class project? Yeah, no problem, Gina. Thanks for dropping by. Make sure you get on that giveaway. So bang giveaway in chat. Today we're actually going to be giving away a 3D printed dragon. So instead of the kit cards, we're going to give away one of our Imperial Dragons today. So this will be our giveaway for today. So this will show up in a 6x6 inch box. And this I'm probably going to ship within North America only. So if you're outside of North America, I'll probably send you kit cards instead, because these guys get pretty spendy to send around the world. But if you're in North America, I'll send it within North America. About $10 or $12 to send within the United States, but it can be upwards of $60 to send over to Europe. All right, so that's has deployed. So if I actually come back to this screen, we'll go back to the browser. Here, over here. So we'll basically see this value change. So instead of $346.70, yeah, there we go, 362. Now we're up to 725.20. So now I'll come back to this page, this thing in OBS, properties. So instead of 346.71, you as a community have raised $362.03. Now our progress bar is updated. So, and then I match all that money, we're at $725. So, but I would love as a community if by the end of the year we can raise another $1,200 or so. Be kind of an aggressive goal. I know with holidays coming up and the economy and inflation stuff, I know it's not always possible, so you don't have to feel obligated ever to donate, but it is something that I'm going to be constantly raising money for. And just, you know, the transparency that I do on the stream is that I don't do this to make money. As a streamer, I'm just doing this to help people out. So all the money I make as a streamer goes into that pot of money, and then I match all of that money to basically go out and help other people get into the tech industry. Alrighty, so yeah, so let's go over to the forum. If I name it, Uberbot's gonna drop the link in here again. I'm gonna go over to Discord and I'm gonna grab some anonymous questions. I have a feeling that StreamerBot's gonna, yeah, there's the Discord link. Of course, I just said the word again, so it's probably gonna put the link in there again. Yep. Nope, it didn't. All right. So I'm gonna go grab some anonymous questions. I'll be doing clips as we go. So just ignore that. That happens over here in chat. But get in on that giveaway. There's 13 of you viewing. I don't think I saw any new giveaway entries. I think we're still only at 2 entries for the day. You got a really, really good chance of getting selected. You got pretty much a 50-50 chance of being selected if you have already entered the giveaway for today. So your odds are good for sure, Jaybreaker. But yeah, so today's giveaway is going to be that dragon, unless you want kit cards. If you would prefer kit cards, or if you're outside of North America, you'll get kit cards. And so the first question that we'll ask, whoever we draw is the recipient. I'll ask you what country that you're in, and then we'll have conversation from there. If you're in the United States or Canada, I'll send you that dragon, or Mexico, I'll send the dragon. But if you're outside of North America, then I will send you kit cards instead, in which case I will need to know which kit cards you would like, and then I will get those back. All right, let's get into some anonymous questions here. A whole bunch of people joining in general chatter and introductions over there, so I appreciate you dropping by and helping us out in that community as well. Feel free to ask questions in that community. If you want to post resumes in there, I do resume reviews inside of the community as well. Hey Sam Fisher, thanks for dropping by. It's been a while since you've been here for sure. Yeah, thanks for coming by. Get in on the giveaway today. Bang giveaway. We're giving away a 3D printed dragon today. So the dragons that I did back in May, we'll be giving one of those away. I'm gonna go through some questions in our online community. I don't want to keep saying the name over and over again because StreamerBot's gonna keep dropping the link in here. There you go. So get on the giveaway. If you're sitting around, you're lurking. The only thing I ask is that you follow in order to join the giveaway. And then every daily giveaway that you come by and enter will get you in the monthly giveaway. And one of the giveaways that we're doing is for Mr. Deadpool here. So if anybody follows me on Twitter, I posted the video of how this was printed, as well as a bunch of photos. And Bamboo Labs, who makes the 3D printer, they actually reached out and they're like, "Hey, do you have any other pictures of that? That like we'd really like to highlight that as a thing that got made with our printer." So I'm gonna take this guy outside and get some pictures outside in like natural sunlight and send those off to Bamboo, and they're gonna spotlight it in some way. I don't know how, but this will be one of our monthly giveaways. So getting in on that giveaway today gives you an entry, and all those entries are gonna eventually let you win Mr. Deadpool there. And we got some other stuff. I got a Lego kit in mind that's gonna be part of the giveaway, and then one other prize that I'm not gonna mention till I'm back from San Jose. So towards the end of the month, but it's gonna be a big prize. I think y'all are gonna like it. So get in on it. Get in on the giveaway. We got 16 people viewing. I'm gonna go grab some questions, and we will dive in. So these are gonna be kind of my raw, unfiltered thoughts as people reach out and ask questions on various platforms. I do collect those in the online community. I'm just gonna be going and grabbing some of those. C. Sam Fisher asks, "Can you program a 15-minute cooldown into StreamerBot so it doesn't keep spamming chat every time I say Discord?" Probably. The neat thing about StreamerBot is they actually have a way for you to write custom C# code. And although I just said Discord at that time and it didn't post the link, I think I have to very clearly say the word Discord, or it stopped listening to me again, which is entirely possible too. It seems a little quirky as far as like when it decides to listen to the voice control. It's like if I say the word email series, normally I would hit a button on my Stream Deck to post a link over here, but it's supposed to listen to me say email series and send something in chat, and it didn't do that either. But if you want to go subscribe to my email newsletters, you're welcome to do that. So I've got 3 different newsletters you can subscribe to. As soon as you're finished that particular series, it's pre-made content. As soon as it's done, it'll unsubscribe you from each of them. And once it unsubscribes you from the last one that you get, it totally removes you from the database. And so it just won't remember at all that you were ever subscribed. And you can always come back in and resubscribe, and you can like re-up the subscription. So if I ever add content, you'll just get, you'll get a lot of the same content again. But any edits that I make, any changes, any updates to the content that I make, it'll send you those if you resubscribe. So you're welcome to resubscribe to that as often as you like. There's no ads, no paywall behind any of it. All I need is an email address. Cool. Let's go. So yeah, I think StreamerBot just decided to stop listening. So I'm not sure. Because if I say the word anonymous, normally it would post another link over here saying, here's how to send an anonymous question. And it didn't do that. Nope. But if you do want to ask a question anonymously, I have a button for that. So you can just send a whisper over to the bot, and it will send a whisper over to the bot. It'll show up in chat. What I would like to do is, if you send a whisper over to the bot, is have it actually post in the Discord community and just add to the regular queue. Or what I would like to do is have like an exclamation point queue. That if you all do that, then it'll queue up a question, and if I do exclamation point queue, then it'll pull a random, like a question that hasn't yet been answered out of that Discord community and let me answer that question. That's where I would like to get as far as the automation. But let's dive in. Been yammering on for 45 minutes and haven't actually gotten to any content yet. Oh, let's get that. Grab this one. This would be a good one to chat about. Trying to remember. trying to remember how I set this automation. I think I hit the button and then I chat. I'm just going to do it this way. All right, so one of our questions from the Discord community asks, I've heard Ian talk about recording his interviews. Is that legal? Should I tell my interviewer that I'm recording? What are the benefits to recording those conversations? I did a job hunt about a year ago. I started last October, November in 2021 to start a job hunt of my own. Decided it was time to change jobs. And I interviewed for a few roles. And as part of that, I've got a little digital audio recorder and I was recording the conversations. I didn't tell the interviewers that I was recording it because I was using it for my own purpose and I don't post those online anywhere. There are legalities to pay attention to though when you're recording conversations. Here in Colorado, it's what we call a single party consent state, which basically means only one person participating in that conversation has to know that the conversation is being recorded. Now, I tell people that I do mentoring with all the time. It's like, if you ever want to record a conversation that we have while I'm mentoring you, like, you have my permission to record at any time. Most interviewers will feel a little bit uneasy if you tell them that you're recording the conversation. But depending on where you live, I think there are only about a dozen states in the United States where you have to get explicit permission from everybody on the call saying like, hey, I want to record this conversation. Is that all right? For me though, I was using it as kind of a reflection on, like, as soon as the interview was over, I was going back and I was listening to it so I could type up notes about how I think I did. Was there anything, better that I could have done? Did I answer things clearly? And so it was for my own use. Part of what I had intended to do with those questions, and I said this several times, is, hey, I want to go back and I actually want to extract from those conversations. Like, these were some of the questions that I asked during the interview as a candidate. These are some questions that I asked of them, or this is questions that I came up with while we were having conversation. And I thought that would have been helpful. I ended up destroying the recordings because, again, it was just for my own use, and then I deleted them all. And I decided, you know what, there's like hours and hours of conversation in there, and I didn't feel like going back and listening to them again. In retrospect, I should have written down, like, these were the questions that I asked. But while I was doing the interviews, I was taking notes. So I was typing up notes, but I also knew that if I had missed anything, that I had an audio recording of it. Is it a good idea to tell the interviewer that you're recording? Yeah, I think it's a good idea to, but there are legalities as to whether you have to. So again, in Colorado, because it's considered a single party consent state for recording, I didn't have to give the other person notice that I was recording a conversation. Because again, it was just for my own use. When it was over, I discarded the recording, so there's no copy of it anywhere. I wasn't publishing them online, but it was really good for me to kind of go back and reflect. And I think that it's a good opportunity to go back and listen in on, how did I do on that interview? Like, did I say anything that was a little weird? Did I say too many times? Like, I know I say all the time. Or the word like. All the time. I say it all the time. So going back and listening to those conversations, I would listen to that and say, wow, I said about 100 times in that conversation. Or I would say the word like 1,000 times in that conversation. So it was good for me to reflect on, just to know how I could improve for the next phone call. It also helped me go back and write up notes about what did that individual say about how big they want to grow their team, or what their plan is for the year, or to record conversation about, us talking about compensation. And so what I would do after those calls is I was sending an email saying, by the way, just as a recap, this is what we said on the call. You said this, you said this. Is that accurate? I knew it was accurate because I had an audio recording of it, but I would always kind of put it in writing and say, can you let me know if this is accurate? If it's not accurate, can you correct my understanding of this conversation? And most of the time they would come back and say, like, yeah, that was fine. A couple of times they just didn't respond. Like, it's not that they were coming back saying, no, I never said that. This is what I said. But when I did hear back, and it was usually from the recruiters, like, hey, just FYI, while we were on that call, I was writing out some notes. This is what you said about comp range. Is that accurate? And they would write back and say, yeah, that was correct. So it was really helpful just to kind of have like something in writing. Because again, if you don't tell them that you're recording, then having something in writing where they have acknowledged that, yes, this is what we're saying. It's important to have just from a records point of view, so that later on, if they make you an offer and it's drastically different, you can say, hey, by the way, that conversation that we had, I've got an email from you that said blah, blah, blah. But if I went back and say, hey, I've got an audio recording where you said blah, 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 then they'd be like, okay, that's weird. You didn't tell us you were recording. So, should you tell them that you're recording? You can tell them. If you're in like one of a dozen states, you have to tell them that you're recording. Sometimes on Zoom, it'll be like, hey, do you mind if we record this on Zoom? Or can I record this on my computer on Zoom? Would that be okay? And so you can ask the interviewer if you can record it and just say, this is just for my own reflection. I'm not going to post it anywhere. I'll sign a non-disclosure or anything like that if you want. I just use it for my own review. I think it's helpful to tell them that. But depending on where you live, you don't have to tell them. Again, there's only about a dozen states in the United States where it is all party consent, which means everybody has to agree for you to do a recording. Otherwise, you can get into like wiretapping laws and things like that, where you can go to jail for it. If anyone was around in the 90s and the whole Bill Clinton thing where people were like taping phone calls and so on, you'll learn all about wiretapping laws. But yeah, so I think to kind of go back to the question of, is it legal? Should I tell my interviewer that I'm recording? What are the benefits? Again, yes, you should tell them. You don't have to tell them though if you're in a single party state. The benefits are really just for reflection and making sure that you have good notes about things that you talked about. I used a lot of those notes that I was typing during the conversation, but then also going back and listening to the conversation about how I wanted to address the next phone call. Like if they progressed on to the next stage of the interview, I had better notes written down and I had better questions, because I could spend time reflecting on what was said, what they said, what I asked. So the next phone call, I could be even better. And based on that, I very rarely did not progress to the next interview stage. I think of the 30 companies, there were only a couple where they called back and said like, hey, we're not going to move forward. I want to say there were only like 1 or 2 of those out of all 30 companies. Everyone else is like, we want to keep talking. Like, you're really well organized. You take really good notes. We're having really good conversation, because the next conversation had be even better because I was taking notes and I was recording these things and going back and listening to them and making even more accurate notes and coming up with even better questions for the next time I would talk to them on the phone. And so it's a really good way of staying organized. So is it beneficial? Absolutely. Is it legal? In Colorado, it is for me. Check your laws where you live. You can also just do a Google search of like, single party recording consent kind of thing, and you'll see a list. There are like 11 or 12 states where you have to have like everybody agree. Cool. Thanks for your patience on that. The IOC A11 or LOC A11. Not sure what the first letter is, if it's a capital I or lowercase l. And thanks for the first time chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. Can I ask you questions related to tech careers? Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm here. So I authored this website, techinterview.guide. Lots of content up there about everything from start to finish. You want to learn about what kind of companies you want to apply to, all the way through to how do I negotiate, how to actually start that job. So yeah, absolutely. You can drop questions in chat as much as you like. If you'd like to ask anything anonymously, you can also send a whisper over to the bot as well and get in on the giveaway. Absolutely. Commander Cool's got the right idea. ! Giveaway. Today we're going to be giving away a 3D printed dragon. So instead of the kit cards, we'll be giving away a 3D printed dragon. And this is 3D printed all in one piece. So it doesn't come apart unless you snap it. This one will actually sit up on his own. And this is called the Imperial Dragon. This is a dark rainbow filament. It's got a bit of a blue sparkle in it, like a really light blue sparkle. I do need to hit it with a heat gun because there's a little bit of like filament threading on some of these spikes on his back. But I will package this up and send it anywhere in North America. If you're outside of North America, And I've got these cool little kit cards that I send out instead. And the kit cards, basically you take all the pieces apart. And so, for example, this is one that we're going to send over to Mayan Wolf, who got in on the giveaway after raiding into our channel. And this turns into a catapult. And so you just take all the little pieces apart and you assemble them, and it turns into a little catapult. And it's great for flinging things across the room. So if you have a furry little pet, then it's fantastic for sending them treats across the room and having them go scramble. And so if you are outside of North America, I will send you a kit card. I've got Star Wars things, I've got Star Trek things. So for example, this is like one of the Starship Enterprises that you can build out of the kit. I've also got holiday themed things like little snowflake ornaments. These don't need to be assembled, but I do have a couple of styles of these that could be assembled into more of a 3D shape. And I've got like little Christmas tree and holiday tree style ornaments. And then I've got like the various toys. So I've got the catapult, or I've got like one of these little puzzle cube things. There's like a whole bunch of these pieces that you fit together to make a little 3D shape. Now this one won't come with instructions. It's meant to be a puzzle of like, how do you put it together? But you can find the instructions for it online. But really, really helpful, really handy little things that we can 3D print. So feel free to get in on that giveaway, !giveaway, and we'll go from there. So yeah, by all means, please ask questions in chat if you got questions about career. You can whisper it to the bot if you want it anonymously. You can send it over on Discord if you like. Either way is like any way you want to ask the question, totally okay. Again, if you also want to connect with me on the socials, I'm on LinkedIn and Twitter. Same username is here. It's IanDouglas736. You can connect with me there, and you can ask as many questions as you like. I do my best to answer the question on those platforms. So whether you DM me or ask publicly, I'll answer the question, and then I'll probably summarize the question and put it in the Discord community. And then I'll bring it back up on the channel here for everyone else. Not to say like, oh, you know, Thindal asked me this question the other day, because I don't do that. If you ask me anonymously or you ask me privately, I never bring your name into it. But I will say, hey, I was asked this question this week, and I wanted to kind of bring it to everybody because I think it's a good question, and it's good to share that knowledge with everybody else. Thindal says in chat, it does not need to be shared with other participants but yourself, but you may not record conversations where nobody knows they're being recorded. That's true. Yep. So I can't just turn on the record thing and like leave it in a room, you know, and record conversation that other people have no idea that I'm making a recording. That is illegal. So yeah, so in practice, it's a good idea to let people know that you're recording things. But Thindal, you were saying it means you're allowed to record anything you're a part of, except in a couple of states. There are a few states in America where you have to tell everybody that you're recording. I want to say like Michigan and Connecticut, and there's about a dozen states. I did some research on it shortly after that. Oh, you were talking about Sweden. I got you. Okay. So in Sweden, single party recording. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for that anonymous question. I'm going to go mark that one as being answered in Discord. And then, oops. Oh yeah, sorry. So I actually wrote out the list in Discord. So the 12 states, no person may record a private communication without the consent of every party. California, Connecticut, Florida, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, maybe Michigan. That one, I kind of went back and forth on whether they were part of that list. Montana, Nevada, maybe also. New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, and Washington. And then software like Zoom and so on is the same, treated as a phone call or an in-person, things like that. So California, for example, you have to tell everybody that you're recording the conversation. So again, you have to check with like where you are when you're making the recording and what's applicable as far as law. Looks like we had an anonymous question come in. What steps should I take for a career in Python as far as classes or what to learn and what to expect day to day at a company? That's a good question. Let's dive in a little bit on that one. We just had an anonymous question come in chat that said, what steps should I take for a career in Python as far as classes to take or what to learn, and then what to expect day to day at a company? Fantastic question. I love answering questions like this. If you already know that you want to learn Python, I'm guessing that you've already looked into the kinds of things that you can do with Python that led you to that as a programming language that you wanted to study. Python is a good general purpose kind of language. You can do a lot of things with it. You can do system level programming, a little bit slow for that, but you can do it. Very popular for data science. It can be used for web development. It can be used for things like chatbots. My chatbot is entirely written in Python. So there's a lot of use for Python. It's a very general purpose kind of language. You can do a lot of things with it. That being said, there are some things that Python is going to be better for than others. For example, I mentioned data science, machine learning. There are a lot of really good libraries that have been written by people who have found ways of making some aspects of Python extremely fast for things like crunching a lot of data and doing a lot of what we call data science, data analytics, and reporting on that data. There's also a lot of work around machine learning where you're training models to say, you know, go learn this about this data, and now when I give you some data, you can tell me based on what you've learned what the outcome should be. So a lot of predictive analysis. So there's a lot of very good scientific kind of work coming out of the Python community. Now you can get into system level programming. You can get into just shell scripting type of work where you just want to automate something about your system. Every time you open a terminal, you want to run some code and do something. You can do that sort of thing in Python as well. As far as what classes to take, it will depend a little bit on what you want to do with your career. Do you want to get into data science? Do you want to do web development? Do you want to do some other kind of programming? And what led you to Python in the first place? If you're learning Python, or if you've looked at Python and decided you wanted to learn Python simply because it's an easy programming language to learn, then that's okay too. Because, like I said, Python is a good general purpose language. It's really easy. Shouldn't use the word easy. It's relatively straightforward to learn. The person that designed the language, his name is Guido van Rossum, and Guido basically modeled Python after a programming language called ABC, which was meant to teach kids how to code. So Guido basically built Python with the mindset of this should be easy enough for a child to understand the syntax, to be able to read through it and kind of get a sense of the flow of what this software is trying to do. That was the whole goal of the language. Now it's adapted since then and things have been changed. And the whole purpose of making it an open source language is that people can introduce changes that they would like to see in the software. And so they have this whole process where you can propose a change to Python and say, hey, wouldn't it be cool if the language did this? And you write a little mini white paper about it, explaining the advantages and disadvantages of if Python did this thing, here's how it could impact. Here's some example code of what I would like Python to do. And then basically goes to a whole Python committee and it kind of gets voted on, like, should we adopt this as a change to the language? Now, if it's a breaking change where somebody says, hey, like, I don't want Python to do this anymore, I want it to do this instead, it takes a much longer process, as I understand it, because they don't want to break how Python works. They're happy to add additional features and additional ideas to the language. At the same time, I would say as a language maintainer, I would be less likely to say, you know, oh, I want to take this really popular library and just build it into the language to begin with, so that everybody that downloads Python by default automatically has that capability. They're probably less likely to do that if libraries already exist, especially if there's more than one library that exists that does that thing. Because again, as a language, like as a core language, they want it to be very minimal to do like a set amount of things. But if you say like, hey, you've never done this data, this type of data structure before, I'd like to introduce that into the language, then you have that flexibility to do that. So there are a lot of really nice things about Python. Now, Python historically has not been a very fast language. There are some things that have been highly optimized, like the math libraries and the data science libraries and scientific libraries and so on. Those all work extremely quickly. And there's been a lot of work around building web-based tooling that will go execute Python code. But it's not extremely fast as a language, but it's getting better. Like Python 3.10, I think it's the current version as of today, is much, much faster than previous versions of version 3 of Python, and it's faster than on most version 2 builds of Python. So they are getting better at figuring out how to actually build the interpreter that reads the Python script line by line and figures out how do I make the computer actually do something with this code. So it's not a compiled language like, C, C++, C#, Java, Go, where you actually have to compile it into a binary and then you execute it as often as you like. Python will actually execute it as it interprets that script. Sometimes it'll go through and it'll cache things. So if you run a Python script, sometimes you'll see a resulting file. Instead of .py as a file extension, you'll see .pyc, which is kind of a pre-compiled version of that script. So the interpreter says, oh, hey, that file exists. I've already done this work of interpreting it and actually running it. It'll go run that one instead. It can be very beneficial as far as like speeding it up slightly. The language maintainers are getting much better at building those sorts of speed enhancements into the language. So as a language, Python is actually quite powerful, does a lot of things. As far as what a day-to-day job looks like in Python, that also varies a little bit based on the company. I've worked at companies where we used it for building out APIs. I've used it at companies where we did it more on the DevOps side of things to automate what we do at a systems level. But Python as a language is pretty powerful, but it also depends on what that company does. So I hate to use the overarching, like, it depends kind of language when I answer questions. But in this case, it really does depend. Like, what should I learn about Python? Well, it depends what you want to do. What am I going to do day to day with that language? It depends on the company. So it depends a lot on what you want to do with the language and what kind of company that you want to work at. So as far as directing you to what classes to take, that's going to vary a little bit based on what you want to go do as a developer. And why did you choose Python? Is Python the best language to go learn for that particular kind of thing? If you want to get into web development, is that the best tool? If you want to get into system level development, is that the best tool? It's a good starting point for a lot of things. I think it's good to learn just general like object-oriented programming principles, but it can also be pretty tricky to figure out how do I import different things, especially when you're structuring your code in a particular way. There are things you have to be careful about as far as how you're importing code that, if I build a module that imports another module or another file, that file can't import the original one, because then you end up in a circular reference of importing files. And then Python breaks. It doesn't know how to handle that. Other languages say, oh, I've already required that file. I've already got that code in memory. I don't need to execute it again. Python doesn't have that capability. Every time you say go import that other file, it starts executing that file line by line. And if the first line it sees is like go import this other file, it pauses what it's doing and it goes and imports that file and starts running that file line by line. And so you can get into circular references, which can confuse a lot of people the first time that you're learning Python and you're trying to split files up into multiple files. You can run into problems there. Overall, though, I really like Python. It's the language I use the most, but the answers to your question will depend a lot on what you want to do with Python. I use it for automation. I use it for a lot of home automation, making the lights blink behind me when somebody follows, or a lot of the chatbot stuff that you see happening in chat is all happening because of Python. I do a lot of system level programming where I automate things when I do little clips of answering questions like this. It's clipping all the stuff out and processing that as video. So as soon as I hit a button on my Stream Deck that says I'm done answering this question, Python kicks in and it's doing a bunch of work to go extract that bit of video and prepare it to upload over to YouTube later on, or to the podcast later on. And so I've got all kinds of Python scripts written up that once it's finished, it'll prompt me and say, what was that question about? Like, go write a prompt for it, and it gets ready to prepare everything to upload to YouTube. It'll send everything over to the podcast for the audio podcast. So all of that stuff is done in Python, but it depends on what you want to do with Python. It's a very powerful language. It can do a lot of things. Cool, let me get caught up on chat. Hello to all the new people coming through. TV Josh, good to see you in chat. Yeah, the whole thing with Don't Sub is basically we raise more money for the fundraiser if you straight donate or do bits as opposed to doing subscriptions. So it's not that I'm opposed to people subscribing to my channel, but for the fundraiser efforts, because I only get half of the money when you pay for a subscription on Twitch. Generally what I tell people is if you subscribe to Twitch Turbo, like if you subscribe to the channel just to get rid of the ads, the only ad that I have is a pre-roll ad, and even if you sub to the channel, you're not going to get rid of that pre-roll ad anyway. But if you subscribe to Twitch Turbo, it'll get rid of ads everywhere. So if you're going to subscribe to 2 channels a month on Twitch, you're actually spending $1 more than if you just subscribe to Twitch Turbo. And generally what I tell people, and I'm probably going against Twitch's terms of service even by explaining this, but it's not that I don't want them to make money, but as a streamer, if you want to support a streamer, it's better to just straight donate money to them. So what I do is I subscribe to Twitch Turbo to get rid of ads, and then when I want to actually support a streamer, I'll either gift subs to them or I'll just do a straight donation directly to their channel, because they get almost 100% of that money. But when you subscribe to a channel, they only get half of the money from that subscription, even partners. Unless you're like a massive partner where you've got like millions of followers on Twitch, then I think they do like a 70-30 split. It was in the news recently. But most people on Twitch are getting a 50-50 split on those subscriptions. So to make an impact on the Diversity in Tech fundraiser, I basically say, like, I prefer if you don't sub, and if you want to just straight donate, you can do Bang Donate, and it'll show you the PayPal address, and I'll get 100% of that money goes into there, and then I match all of that money as well. So if you donate $20, I'll kick in another $20. But when you subscribe, I only get $2.50 of the $5 that you spend. I still match your $2.50, and so it brings that total up to $5. But if you donate $5, I add another $5. We just put even more money into that pot. That's all. Kendall says, random and not very important. What are the laws around photography and videography where you live? In Sweden, I'm allowed to do whatever I want as long as I have permission from the subject. Yeah, it's generally the same here. If you're out in public in America, most of the times they basically say if you're out in public, you have no right to privacy. Like if you're out in public, people can just record what's happening out in public. And so you can't say like, hey, you have to stop filming me because I'm telling you to. It's like, no, you're out in public. I can film whatever I want, well, as long as I'm out in public. But if you're like specifically taking pictures of one person in a harassing way, then, you can, I'm sure that there are harassment laws around there that you have to be careful of. But, see, what else did I miss? Math plus games, good to see you in chat as well. So yeah, get in on the giveaway. If you're in North America, I'm going to send out a 3D printed dragon today. We get about 20 people in chat. I've only seen a handful of giveaways, but we're going to be giving away a 3D printed dragon today as the giveaway. So if you're in North America, I'm going to send this your way. If you're outside of North America, I'm going to send you a kit card. You will need to be in chat to respond if you get drawn as the recipient. So you will need to hang around. You can't just do bang giveaway and then leave. If you want to be there. I thought I saw another anonymous question come in. Where did that go? Anonymous question. Can you still record audio if you're one of the people in the conversation, even if the other party says they do not consent to a recording? Again, if you're in a single party consent state, you don't have to get their permission. But if you're in one of those states that I mentioned earlier, like if you're in California, you have to get everybody's permission. If you live in New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Washington, you have to have everybody's permission. If they do not give consent, by law, you are not allowed to record the conversation. So check the laws where you live. Because I live in Colorado, I can record conversations. But again, there are ethical sort of things around that. Like I don't record everything that goes on around me. But if I'm on a phone call where I'm like, I should take notes, I'll probably do an audio recording, then I'll go back later and I'll listen to that audio recording just to make sure that my notes are accurate, and then I describe the recording. So it's not like I hang on to these recordings forever and ever. You know, I record them long enough, I go back, I listen to them, I'll revise my notes, and then I describe the audio file after that. But check the laws where you live, because it can make a difference. And if you are specifically told, no, please don't record this, or if you are under contract, if you've signed something saying that you're not going to record it, then you're not legally allowed to record it. Same thing like when you go to a concert or whatever, like, you know, you're not allowed to record it on any kind of device. So don't slip a digital recorder in your pocket. If they catch you with it, they'll probably kick you out, and they could take legal action against you for it. So check the laws in your area. Math Plus Games, if I can link you my asset store, could you tell me if I'm ready to apply for a job? I've been programming for under 3 years. I have no prior work experience. I'm programming completely self-taught. Not sure what you mean by asset store. And A11 missed my question, so I'll go back and double check that. Lokesh. I'm a new grad from India working at ThoughtWorks. I'm passionate about building apps, but I've joined a startup or FANG to gain lots of knowledge to build a tech startup after 5 years. So you want to do your own startup. I would probably work at another startup to learn what it is to work and lead a startup. If you go work at a FANG company, it's not going to teach you about running your own business. At a FANG company, you're going to be one of 50,000 or 100,000 other developers. That's just going to teach you how to develop, you know, enterprise grade code, but it's not going to teach you anything about running the business or the stresses and the, you know, how to actually run a business. So if you want to start your own startup within 5 years, I would go work at probably 1 or 2 other startups over the course of that 5 years. But you'll want to try to get in on some sort of mentorship program like a Techstars or Y Combinator, things like that, where they can actually coach you on what it means to be a startup and how to actually run that business. That's going to be really important. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to start a business and like be a developer, unless you understand how to actually execute a business, like how to run the business and be a business owner and handle the sales and handle the building of your customers and the marketing and everything that goes into actually running a business. Because just writing software doesn't mean people are going to use it. Now, working at a startup, you're going to learn a ton, but it also depends on what you want to, like what you have in mind for being a startup. You probably don't want to go work at a startup that does something similar to what you want to go build, because there could be implications there about, you know, did you steal their idea and now you're going and making a competitor business. But if you've got an idea that's pretty new and pretty novel and nobody's done it before, then I would still go work at a couple of startups just to get the experience of what it means to go work at a startup. That would be my recommendation there. Working at a FANG company, you'll learn a ton, but getting a job at a FANG company is really, really hard to start out with. It'd be much easier to get a job at a startup. Relatively speaking, relative to a FANG company, it'll be easier to get a job at a startup. But working at a startup, like I said, you'll get a better idea of what it's like to actually be at a startup. And you'll see the energy of the founders and what they put into it. And you can, because it's a smaller company, you'll have more opportunity to talk to them about what it takes to actually start up a business, how to run a business, how to do things like investment money and dealing on that side of the business, where just going and working at a FANG company, you're not going to have any idea about any of that. So you could go work at a FANG company and just interview the heck out of like a ton of other startup people, but that's not going to make you better one way or the other as a developer to go develop like a startup business. You'll gain knowledge either way. I think you'll gain knowledge as a programmer either way. But I think that as far as like coming up with a startup idea, you'll be better off working at a startup just to have better exposure around it. Dewey, good to see you in chat. Thanks for the reminder to hydrate. Chug some coffee, caffeine in me for the day. So Lokesh, thanks for the questions. Appreciate it. Sorry that I missed that earlier. I know sometimes I miss things in chat as I go. But Math Plus Games, I make tools on the Unity Asset Store. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at your question. So, you want to send me a link to your Unity Asset Store. Can you tell me if I'm ready to apply for jobs? I don't really know anything about Unity, so looking at a Unity Asset Store listing, I'm not going to be able to give you any indication one way or the other. You've been programming for 3 years, you're self-taught, no prior work experience in programming other than what you've been building in your asset store. I'm probably not going to be a good indicator for that for you. If you've got things on GitHub, I can go take a look at your GitHub profile. I can look at a LinkedIn profile. You can send me a resume if you want a resume review. I can send you that. I'm going to be more qualified to sort of look at your skills and evaluate your projects that way, like where I can actually look at your code, like on GitHub, and get a sense of, are you ready for an actual job? If you're looking for a game development job, then putting things on the Unity Asset Store is going to be a great start, because you're showing like, hey, I've been doing this for 3 years. Even though you're self-taught, you've been doing it for 3 years, and you've been kind of working through a lot of this process on your own and doing the stuff on your own. I think that's a great way to show that you're really passionate about that. I will say from experience, because I worked in the gaming industry, it's very, very competitive. It's very challenging to get a job in the industry, and chances are pretty good you're not going to work on a major title for a long, long time. They're going to have you doing a lot of grunt work. And by grunt work, I mean it's like the low-level kinds of things that aren't going to be that fun or that glamorous, and you basically work your way up to working on like the really big titles, and getting chosen for a title that ends up being a really big deal is also really difficult, and it's a very rare sort of thing. You tend to get overworked in the gaming industry. You tend to get paid a lot less unless you end up working on one of these major titles. And then, if you happen to luck out and work at, on a major title, then, you kind of start at a higher level at the next company, because you can say, oh, I was one of the developers on God of War, and everyone's like, ooh, God of War, come work at our company. That sort of thing. It doesn't mean it's impossible to go get those jobs, but it will be a little bit harder. So just following up in chat, I mainly started my asset store to make a portfolio, but I don't know how much or how many more tools I should make before I'm ready to apply for work. I would just start applying for work, to be honest. That'll be the best way to get feedback from those folks. The other thing you could do is find other folks that do similar things, ask them for feedback. Like, hey, can you go look at this code that I wrote for this particular asset in Unity and tell me what I can do better? I've never written code for Unity. I know it's mainly C#, if I recall. I've dabbled in C#, but I've never programmed like full-time C# type of job. So I'm not going to be a good indicator of like, oh, you could do this better. This is a way to optimize this or that. Somebody else who makes Unity assets would be in a much better position to tell you that. My tools have been used in many published games though. Okay, well, those are good things to put on a resume then, and say, I built up these tools. They've been used in 30 games, 100 games, 1,000 games. Like you'll want to quantify that kind of thing on your resume, where you say, I built out this tool, I'm the developer of this tool, and it's been downloaded this many times by other developers, currently in the, been downloaded by this many developers, it's part of this many games or something like that. It shows the impact of what you make. That's a really, really good way to build out something on a resume that'll really stand out, as opposed to just, oh yeah, I make things for Unity. That's okay to say on a resume, but if you can say, yeah, I make things on Unity, I put it in the asset store, and it's currently in use by 2,000 games, people are like, okay, cool. Like, you can build things that are useful. Other people are finding your tools useful. So that's a really, really good impact to put on a resume for sure. Yeah, you can absolutely say that. Well, it's not that you're taking credit for their games, so just to clarify what you've written in chat. It says I wasn't sure if I'm allowed to say that, like taking credit for other games. You're not taking credit for the game. You're saying you are, your assets have been downloaded and used in several other games. Now, if those games like blew up and became big, then you can say, you know, I wrote this particular tool that was used in this big game title or something like that, because they can go look at the Unity asset store and they can verify that kind of stuff, as I imagine. Or you would have some way of proving that your tool got used in that particular game. So as long as you can verify the claim of my tool got used in 5,000 games or 20 games or whatever, like as long as you can verify that quantity, then yeah, it's a great thing to put on a resume. Absolutely, because you're showing the impact that you have. Again, when you're writing up a resume, you want to sell them on, like, this is the value that I bring to you as a company. If I build up these assets, they get used in games. That's why people would want to hire you, because they're going to look at that and go, oh, I want you to come do that at our company too. I want you to build things for our company so that our company's assets get built into those games as well. That makes our company better, especially if you're going to be selling them. Now, if you're giving stuff away for free and they're being used in games, that's fine too. If you're doing it to make money, then that's great. If you've made assets that make money, then that's fine. If people are leaving you reviews, then that's another good thing to add on there as well. Like, there's a review process in that Unity store to say, I built 10 assets, they're used in 5,000 games, and I currently have, 3,000 5-star reviews or something like that. Like, anything that you can quantify like that on a resume shows the impact that you have and the impact that you could have at their company if they were to hire you. That's how you get a job. That's going to really show the value that you bring, like the immediate value that you bring to them as a company. Like, I make these things, now I work for this other company, or, now I'm the developer of this thing, I work at this company now, and now people are going to know that company name. So yes, people will hire you if you can quantify that kind of stuff, for sure. Only thing is, I started programming late. Doesn't matter. I'm 35. Cool. I'm 48. Nice to meet you. Career change from pharmaceutics. Cool. I feel like I need to do so much more to justify my age. Nope, not at all. You can get started at any point. There are lots and lots of people changing their career to get into software and getting into various kinds of development. You shouldn't let that hold you back. You really shouldn't. It does hold a lot of people back, but try not to let it. People are going to look at that and go, okay, so you're 35. Like, you're bringing a lot of other experience to what you do. Companies nowadays, because they see a lot of people changing their jobs, they see a lot of people doing a career switch, they're a lot more tolerant of having that diversity of background, where before it's like, oh, well, you didn't get a computer science degree back in college when you were 20, like, so what have you been doing with life? Like, you're not gonna make it as a developer. It's like, that used to be the mindset. But nowadays, people are like, okay, cool, you're a software developer, and look at all this other experience that you have. Look at all this other experience that you bring to our company when you come join us over here. The fact that you want to get into gaming is fine. An easier transition into tech might be to go back through the pharmaceutical industry and say, I want to go build software for medical companies or things like that, because you understand that industry. But if you got out of that industry, or you're making the move to get out of that industry, then that's okay too. You don't have to go back into a previous industry, but it can be an easier path into tech by going back through an industry that you were previously involved in. But you don't have to. Certainly don't have to. I know a lot of people, like one of my students, he was a CFO at a company. Like, he got all through finance, like went to finance school, got his degree. I think he had a master's degree in finance, worked his way up to chief financial officer, and decided, no, I want to be a software developer. Quit his job, came to the school where I was teaching, learned how to write software. And he's like, yeah, I'm done with finance. And I said, well, that'll be your easiest path to get back into tech. And he's like, no, I don't want to do finance. That's why I left finance, so that I could become a software developer and literally do anything but finance. Like, all right, cool. Good luck. You can literally go find any other job. But people that look at your background, they're like, oh, you've got this cool financial background. Come work on this financial software, because they know that you're going to be really strong in that area. And so again, you're showing that value. But if you're like, no, I got out of pharmaceutical business, I want to get into game development, and this is the work that I do, that's fine. It's a clean break. You're starting over. Nothing wrong with that. a lot of companies are still going to appreciate the professionalism and the fact that you're professionally employed and in a good industry where you're making good money. It's totally okay to do that. Again, a lot of companies are going to be very tolerant of that, because even though you're not going to be necessarily working on like pharmaceutical things, or you're not going to be building like a hospital simulator game or anything like that, if that's not what you choose to do, they're still going to look at the professional experience and go, cool, you've been on part of a team, you know how to talk to management, and you've had experience like building things out and dealing with bureaucracy and like good communication skills, and you were at a professional white collar type of job in the past. Like, they're going to look at all of that, and they're going to kind of see all of the other value that you're bringing to that job besides being a software developer and building up these game components. So it's totally okay. Don't let your age hold you back. I can't do boring. I find gaming very fun, even though I'm only making the highly technical tools and not the gaming logic. That's fine. People still need that stuff. So just because you're not working on the game mechanics is fine. They still need the assets. They still need things that they can just plug into the game where they've got the idea around the mechanics, but they need all these other assets or graphics or sounds or whatever. Like, there's still a huge need for that. That's fine. Don't let that hold you back. Just go apply for those jobs. If you see a job where you're interested and it's relevant to the kind of thing that you're working on now, you've got this portfolio of things that you've been selling in the asset store that you can put on a resume and say, this is who I am now. I've previously had this other job or this other type of work in this other industry, and you can just minimize how you talk about that on your resume and just say, yeah, I was in the pharmaceutical industry for 15 years or whatever, and now I'm doing this instead. And say, over the last couple of years, I taught myself programming, I built up these assets, it's been used in so many different games, and this is the direction I'm taking my career now. People are like, all right, cool. Just start applying for those jobs. I think that's totally okay to do. Yeah. Thank you for the confidence boost. You're welcome. I was going to make 6 more tools before I apply. Start applying now. Yeah, don't wait. You can still build those tools while you wait, because it does take time to like talk to companies and get to know them and get through their interview process and whatever. And you can say like, hey, I'm still actively working on this stuff while I'm applying for these jobs. I'm still teaching myself all these things. Now, they may look at your self-taught background and go, okay, well, have you picked up bad habits along the way? Or we're going to have to sort of untrain bad habits, because you are self-taught. That will be probably the number one worry on their mind, is that you don't have a formal education. Now, if you've done like Coursera or Udacity or Udemy or things like that, where you can say these are some certifications or some, certificate of completion or something, where I went and actually took like a C# course, or I took this Unity course or something like that. If you can show that, it'll give a little more legitimacy to, I'm self-taught. But if you literally just taught yourself based on YouTube and Stack Overflow, that's totally okay too. But the number one concern that they're going to have is, do you have bad habits? Are we going to have to like unteach some of the things that you like, how you've learned, so that we can sort of shape and mold you into what we need you to be? Don't let your age hold you back. I think it's totally fine. There are a lot of people getting into tech. I've trained people at the school where I taught for 4 years. I trained people into their 60s. Like, I want to be a developer. I'm like, cool. You're like 2 years away from retirement. It's going to be a little harder for you to find a job, but let's get you that job. And we were able to find jobs for them, because again, they're bringing a lot of really rich background and so on. I remember one person came to our school. I think he was already really close to retirement age. And he's like, yeah, I've lived my life. I've done the careers. I've made all my money. I've got retirement in the bag. I just want to learn to be a software developer. And we're like, cool, we're a school where we focus on like getting you into the tech industry. And he's like, no, I just want to learn software. We're like, okay, we'll teach you. We'll train you if that's really what you want. It was sort of an active rebellion, not an act of rebellion. It was active rebellion. He's like, no, I'm not going to that class. I'm building a resume. Like, I don't need a resume. I'm not doing this to go get a job. And so we had to have regular conversations with the professional development team of like, no, they're not going to be at that, let's talk about behavioral questions today, or let's talk about the technical questions that you're going to get asked, or let's work through these whiteboard interview questions. He's like, no, I'm not going to any of that. I'm not here to get a job. I was like, okay, that's fine. You're just here to learn how to code. That's cool. So everybody's got different sort of reasons for getting into it, and I've trained people like literally people straight out of high school, mostly college dropouts, mostly I would say probably, well, not mostly college dropouts. Of all the students that I taught, I would say probably 70 to 80% of them were changing their career. A handful of them were leaving computer science degrees or some other college program because they wanted to get into the tech industry or get into the industry faster. We also had a handful of students come straight out of high school and say, I want to be a developer. I don't want to do the traditional like 4-year degree. I just want to get a job in the tech industry. And they would come straight out of high school, take our program and go get a job. And they're all doing great. Like all of those people that get jobs, they're all doing great. Now, some of them, they would do development for a year or two and be like, nah, I want to like shift. I want to be like a product manager. I want to be a project manager. I want to focus on this kind of thing or that kind of thing, where they really lean into their previous experience, where they did a management type of role or they did a product kind of role or a program manager type of role, and they kind of shift and change, and that's okay because everybody's career is a little bit different. Everybody's journey is going to be different in tech. So yeah, don't let it hold you back. Don't let it hold you back. Just go for it. And if you want a resume review, I'm more than happy to do resume reviews for you here on the stream. You can just do bang resume in chat, and it'll tell you like how to send me a resume and stuff like that. I'm happy to do them on stream. So last probably Friday of the month, this month, I'll probably do more resume reviews. We just did a bunch on Thursday. I'm gonna get those uploaded over to YouTube later today. We just did a bunch on Thursday. So you can go check that out. It'll be up on the YouTube channel in a little bit. Here's the link to YouTube. Nope. Here's the link to YouTube. So you can go check out, I've got a bunch of resume reviews over there right now, but go check out the link over there, and it'll give you kind of a starting point. You've been watching YouTube videos, awesome. So I know my CV isn't ready. That's fine. I mean, if you want help with it, I'm here to help. That's exactly why I'm here, just to help people out, answer questions like this. I've been in the gaming industry. That's why I know it's very competitive. But if that's really what you want to do and that's where you want to take your career, that's fine. That's where a lot of programmers got their start, is by like playing games and hacking on games and go, oh, I want to be a game developer someday. It's totally okay to do. Cool, thanks for the questions. Appreciate it. And appreciate the follow-up in chat too. Definitely keeps things engaging. Get in on that giveaway. There's 17 people. I don't think we even have 10 people in the giveaway yet. We got 4 people in the giveaway for today. Come on, get in on that giveaway. I'm giving stuff away for free here. You have to be a follower of the channel. Tony Williams and KTR, appreciate the follows earlier today. Sorry that I missed those earlier and didn't call those out. But get in on the giveaway. Every entry in the giveaway is going to get you into the monthly giveaway. We got the Deadpool bust to give away. Got a Lego kit that I'm going to give away. Got one other really big thing that we're going to give away on November 1st. So every entry that you get in here and get in on these smaller giveaways is going to give you an entry into the bigger giveaway. So the more times you can buy, more times you hang it on the stream, get into the daily giveaways. Anytime I stream, you can come by and do bang giveaway. And like I said, today we're going to give away a 3D printed dragon. So this is the dragon that we're going to give away. It's this cool like rainbow filament. Printed this on my printer. It took about 9 hours to print on this new printer that I got. Normally would take like 26 to 40 hours, but this guy will actually stack up on himself, and you know, if you put him on a shelf or something like that, he'll actually stand up like that. Yeah, we're going to give this guy away today. This will be the giveaway if you're in North America. If you're in North America, you're going to get this. If you're outside of North America, I've got these other kit cards where it could be like a holiday tree or something fun like, you know, this catapult kit will basically build out into a little catapult. Or I've got similar little kit cards. Let me look at some of those and show you what some of those other ones look like. So we got things like the Millennium Falcon. It'll like build out into a little kit. So just like the, you know, the old style, you know, model kits or whatever, where you just break out the parts and you put them together. These parts are all flexible, and so like this part kind of bends around the back of the ship and things like that. So I'll make sure you get the instructions in there. If you're more of a Star Trek fan, we got things like Deep Space Nine, various models of the Enterprise, things like that. So we'll be sending these kinds of things out if you're outside of North America. But if you're in North America, we're going to give that dragon away. And I'm probably going to do that giveaway here in a little bit. We've been going a little over an hour and a half. And so I'll be doing that giveaway here pretty soon. So make sure you get in on that giveaway. We got 16, 17 people in chat, and we only got 4 people or 5 people in the giveaway. So the only thing I ask is that you follow the channel, so that I know that you're coming by, and it's basically also to give you notification of when I'm going live, so you can come back and enter those giveaways again. And let me show you the Deadpool again for those that haven't seen it. So this is a multicolor print. There's not a drop of paint on this. This is all plastic that came off the printer. You go follow me on Twitter, same username on Twitter that I use here on Twitch, and you'll see a video of this printing in multiple colors. And this thing is just absolutely gorgeous. I love this thing. And so the people that make the printer, they reached out to me and they're like, hey, can you like take more pictures of this, because we want to highlight this in an upcoming thing. I'm like, yeah, I'd be happy to. So I basically, you know, the model all comes one color. Like this is basically the model at regular size, and I basically supersized it. I basically maxed it out on the printer, and I went in and I digitally painted every little nook and cranny of this model, and then just swapping out the different filament colors and so on to get all the different sort of look on this for the buckles and the bandolier and the straps and all that kind of stuff. The printer will normally do 4 colors, but because I planned it out in such a way that like the green here ended at a certain point, so I was able to swap out the white or to a light gray. And then once it finished the light gray on the grenade, I switched to a bright white for the collar and his eyeballs. And then I was using the brown for the bandolier pouches, and I painted the same brown handle on here, but once it finished the pouch, I swapped out the brown for the dark blue to get the dark blue on the sword handles, kind of a Batman blue-gray sort of color. So they saw this, and the company's like, we want to highlight this print. Like, this print's amazing. Like, can we show this off? Can you take some other pictures of it? Because I just had pictures of it here on my desk. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get it out in the sunshine today and like take a whole bunch of pictures of this. And so you'll see that in some kind of spotlight from them coming up soon. Yeah, it was a lot of work. It took probably a good 20, 30 hours just to digitally paint. Like I was literally zooming in and like painting all the tiny little triangles of the model. Anybody that's ever done 3D modeling knows about like all the little triangles or whatever that things sort of get built into. I was literally in every little nook and cranny of it to go in and paint this thing out. Just found a blemish on it. Something I'm going to go back and fix. I missed a spot. There's a tiny little spot on his bandolier up here that printed black instead of brown. But I promised this wouldn't be painted, so I'm not going to paint over it. I'm going to leave that as is. Whoever wins it, if you want to like, you know, do some aging or whatever, you can just use acrylic paint. But typically what I would do on this to like age something is I would mix like a black acrylic paint, maybe a brown acrylic paint, really water it down. And then you just kind of like, you know, get a rag or something and just like, you know, put that paint on and then like wipe it off. And anything that gets stuck in those little nooks and crannies and things like that, it'll look like dirt. And it'll give like a really nice aged effect. You can go look up videos from Bill Doran. Punished Props is his channel on YouTube, as well as Adam Savage from Mythbusters. They both make really excellent videos on like how to take props and like make them look aged. And it's just watered down paint, or you can get something called rub and buff, where it's like it looks like a metallic paint, and you smear it on and you like buff it off. You like rub it on and you buff it off, and the more you like sort of rub away at it or whatever, like it'll really get down into those little nooks and crannies. But yeah, I basically took this little tiny print, made it really big, digitally painted it. That's one of our monthly giveaways. So every time you come by and enter the giveaway, you get a chance to win Mr. Deadpool here. So yeah, get in on the giveaway. We'll do the dragon giveaway here in a couple of minutes. So. Let's see, did I miss anything else in chat? Amazing. What printer would you recommend to make that quality? Well, so printing Deadpool like this in a single color, pretty much any 3D printer is going to be able to do that. Now, the size of it is going to vary depending on what kind of printer that you get. A lot of printers will do. I do my metric conversion here. most printers are very handily going to handle 8 to 9-inch models, which, you know, still pretty good size. You know, somewhere around the 200 millimeter, maybe 20 or 20 centimeter to 25 centimeter kind of range, depending on the printer. The printers that I was making most of these kit cards on, they'll do 25 centimeters by 21 centimeters as far as like the size of the print bed, and then the height of it on the Prusa printer will go up to like 210. You can get printers now for $300-400. Excuse me, that'll do like 300 millimeter by 300 millimeter by 300 millimeter, or even bigger. So you start getting into like $400 or $500 range, and you can start making like really, really big prints. This printer that I'm building here with this red frame, it's enormous and heavy, but this is the frame that I'm building out for this new printer, and this is going to be a 350 by 350 printer. That kit is spendy. I don't recommend building a kit like that if you're brand new to 3D printing. But you can get printers for like $200 on Amazon now, and they're all going to give you pretty good quality. They're not going to necessarily do multicolor like this. They're typically like add-on components that you can get to do multicolor. For a printer, like the printer that I used to print this, it was about $1,200. And it's like a high quality printer. It's a very fast printer. And its print surface is 250 by 250, and it'll do 250 tall. This guy, I think, is 24 centimeters. So I didn't go like maximum height. I could have gone like an extra centimeter on top. So not much taller. I pretty much maxed out the size of the printer, like height-wise, for this guy. Now, I could have cut it in half and like glued the two halves together, but then you end up with this big seam across, you know, where they actually join, so it's not like perfectly joined. But if you're doing a single color plastic, you can print, you know, you can kind of cut things into parts, and you can sand them, glue them together, and just use like putty fill, like you'd use on a wall kind of thing. And you can like fill in the cracks, smooth it down, sand it with sandpaper, and then paint it however you like. That's the way that most people do 3D prints, is they'll do it in a single color and then they just paint it. And there's lots and lots of these. So if you go over to eBay, for example, and you look for Deadpool bust, and you see this particular model, and this model's from somebody called Eastman.xyz is their website. You can go find the Eastman bust on eBay and Pinterest and Etsy and things like that, where people sell them, but they're hand painted. Or one of them that I've seen is, you know, kind of started out as like a little resin print like this, where they do the rub and buff, and so it's got this really cool metallic kind of look, like all over the whole thing. It's like a silver and black kind of metal polish. You can find those, and they'll cost you anywhere from $20 to $100, depending on how much work they did to actually go in and paint. I had somebody message me last night, and they're like, "Wow, that thing must be worth like thousands of dollars." It's like, no. Like, 3D printing is such a commodity now that it's actually really inexpensive to get into 3D printing. You can buy a 3D printer, print this over like a day or two, go in, hand paint it, and now you've got like this really big hand painted thing. It's really inexpensive to get into. So as far as what I would recommend, there are some very good like entry-level printers that you can get into. I'd probably use something like an Ender series if you're getting started. It's a pretty good, friendly printer to get started. Although I don't generally recommend Creality as a company. I won't give them any more of my money personally, but Creality makes the Ender series, and it's very popular. You'll find a lot of help, a lot of online guides. And then once you buy the printer and you get used to it, then you can buy add-ons and upgrades, and you can change out motors to be more silent or more precision, and you can buy different kinds of nozzles for different kinds of materials, and like there's no end to what you can upgrade. And then basically it's like you start getting into like where you're buying all the individual components and all the little belts and motors and stuff, and you're basically assembling the whole thing yourself. But even these printers, they're mostly like printed plastic. You know, you get a little bit of hardware or whatever. You know, you can get You can get to the point where you get like these little brass inserts and you just melt it down in there with a soldering iron and, you know, build your own little thing. Like here's a little piece of 3D printed plastic, but these brass inserts, you know, you just melt in with a soldering iron, and now that's, you know, it's got something that a screw can actually screw into. And so a lot of 3D printers also contain a lot of 3D printed parts themselves. You can't 3D print an entire 3D printer, but you can make some pretty rigid parts, and you can make a lot of very practical types of prints. One of my favorites that I made here at home, like one of the lights that I have up in front of me, is literally like I'm in my basement, so I've got this big I-beam in front of me, and I wanted a way to mount this LED light where it wasn't going to face straight out from the I-beam, but I also didn't want it facing straight down. And so I made this little hinge, and basically this just form fits into the I-beam, and then I've got this little hinge that I can kind of pivot any direction that I want. And so I basically printed a bunch of these, rock this, you know, hinge back as far as I want it to, and then I can just put a little piece of tape or something on here to hold it there, and then the LED strip just snaps into these things. So I've just got two of these clipped onto that I-beam, and now this light bar is facing down at me at an angle, as opposed to facing straight out from the I-beam or straight down from the I-beam. And so, you know, I found little plans for this ball hinge kind of thing online, but also it pivots as well. And so I get attached to the front of the I-beam or the back of the I-beam, and I can, you know, so at another point I had one on the front of the I-beam and one on the back, where I was doing it at an angle because I had a couple of them kind of at an angle this way, sort of facing me, and then I got these smaller lights instead. But you can make some very practical prints like this. I also have, I ordered one of those fitness rings. I'm like, well, I don't know what size of ring I need. And so somebody made like a whole bunch of these sizer rings, where it's like, this one is like size 11.5. So it's like 11 with a dot on it. And basically it's like, okay, well, that's the size of ring that I need. And so you just 3D print, and then you're like, nope, that one's too small. Nope, that one's too big. It's like, okay, 11.5, exactly the size I'm going to need. So when they get around to, it's time to ship your ring, what size of ring do you want? I can tell them I want an 11.5, and I know it's going to fit that finger. So there's some very practical things that you can do with 3D printing, or you can just get into fun, goofy things like infinite fidget cube, you know, things where they just fold endlessly and unfold endlessly, and you can print all different colors of plastic and stuff. So lots and lots of things that you can get into. A lot of people use them for trinkets and toys and, you know, Deadpool and, you know, stuff like that. But some people get into very practical prints where they're building like everyday things. Like I want to build hooks on the walls to hang shelves and all kinds of stuff. You can do some stuff with 3D printing. You just want to make dragons. I mean, I made so many of these dragons. I made so many of these back in May. I think we shipped about 70 of these around the world. There were two different styles. There was this style of dragon that stands up, and there's also this style of dragon. I think I got one left here. Yep. This is another style of flexible dragon. This was like one of the original flexible dragons that came out. But this one doesn't stand up. So this one is just meant to kind of like drape around something. So, you know, you can stack them up on some books, or you can actually 3D print like little fork stands or whatever to just kind of stand them up and pose them however you want. You can buy little hooks and stands and whatever, and you know, have these guys like drape around. So this guy just prints in a coil on the print bed, and when you take them off, like all the hinges are all kind of built in together. So this was the original dragon that I started making last year. So I think last November, I made several dozen of these and we're giving them away. And then in May, I started making these. And MacGyver is the name of the designer that made this dragon. Actually gave me written permission that anytime somebody donated to the fundraiser back in May, I was allowed to send them one of these dragons as a thank you. So any donation over, I think I said at the time, $10, I would send one of these dragons. Now it costs $12 to $30 to actually ship this, like pack it in a box and ship it around the world. So I certainly wasn't doing it to make money off of them at all. But generally the designers of these things say like, hey, don't sell these commercially. Like, you know, we do this commercially to make money for ourselves as the designers, so please don't sell our designs. But yeah, I mean, the quality on these things are really fantastic. Like to see all the just the little fine detail on all the little horns and the scales and stuff like that. Now this filament is a multicolor filament. Um, so some filaments actually change their color. So similar to this and similar to the rainbow one, like this is all the same spool of filament. It just changes color over time as it prints. Most of the time though, most of the filament that you get is going to be a single color. Like it'll be a shiny silver, or it'll be a rusty orange, or a really bright fire engine red or something like that. Like the Omnom that I printed. Um, this was made on the multicolor printer, but most of the time it'll be like, I'm just going to make the whole thing bright green, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to paint the eyeballs, and I'm going to paint the teeth myself. And so that's what most people do, is they'll just print a single solid color and then they go in and they paint it. So lots of things that you can do with 3D printers nowadays. It's pretty great. One day I want to get into robotics and combine the skill set. Yeah, a lot of people get into robotics and 3D print like different things for the robots, and getting into the electronics and stuff like that. You can do some really, really neat stuff with it for sure. All right, well, let's give everybody one last chance. If you're lurking in chat, if you hear the sound of my voice, you exclamation point giveaway in chat. You do need to be a follower of the channel. And I only do that normally, like my giveaways. I'm like, I don't care whether you follow or not. You don't have to be a sub or anything like that. I are not lurking. But for this one, I wanted people to be a follower. And so my chatbot, if you try to do Bang giveaway and you're not a follower, it'll say like, hey, you have to follow the channel. And that's just so you get notified, so you can come back and enter the giveaways more throughout the month, so that you can win like the really big things. That's the only reason, is I'm trying to help you to come back and enter the giveaways more and more, so that you have a better chance of winning these bigger prizes, and not winning. I have to make sure that I avoid using the word win. You are the recipient of a gift. In some jurisdictions and whatever, if I say I'm having like an online giveaway, and you are winning a prize, then it's considered like gambling and things like that. So some jurisdictions will actually put restrictions on who can enter. And so you are not winning anything, you are the recipient of a gift. So feel free to get in on the giveaway. What if I only want a winner just for the monthly giveaway? I mean, that's fine. You still have to enter the daily giveaway in order to get an entry into the monthly giveaway. So every daily entry gives you an entry to the monthly giveaway. So every time you come back and do Bang giveaway, so you can do Bang entries in chat, and that'll tell you how many entries you have to the monthly giveaway. So if you do Bang entries, I think Math Plus Games, it'll tell you you've got 2 monthly entries, I think I saw. When you did Bang giveaway earlier, it'll tell you how many entries you have into the monthly giveaway. If I do Bang giveaway, it'll give us like the total stats. So today's giveaway, we've got 6 entries, but the whole monthly giveaway, there's only 115 people. Sorry, there's 115 entries from 80 unique people. So most people, they come by for a single giveaway, but a handful of people have come by and they've done the giveaway over and over and over again. Does XOR, good to see you. Thanks for the first time chat. I love basic math problems you need to solve in Canada for winning a lotto ticket. Yeah, they so in Canada, if you win like on a scratch off or something, they make you do like what's 5 plus 4 times 8, minus 3 kind of thing, and you have to be able to solve that in order to claim your prize. It would be interesting if they were to extend that and start getting into like order of operations of putting parentheses around things, and do you do the multiplication and division first and then the addition and subtraction to get the right answer? I remember all of that stuff in school when I was in Canada. It's like, well, the answer could be this or it could be this. Too bad on tests they only let you get one right answer. But yeah, we're gonna do that giveaway right now. So last chance. So if you're not in the giveaway, Bang giveaway, get in on that giveaway. You just have to be a follower, and that's just to notify you of when I'm going live, so that you can win the big monthly giveaways. So we got a Lego set, and we're gonna have one more big prize to give away as well. That one I'm going to announce when I'm back from my trip next week, and hopefully we'll drum up a little more interest as well. But a couple of really big gifts for the monthly giveaway, including Mr. Deadpool over here. So get in on that giveaway. We're gonna do that drawing here very, very soon. We'll give everybody another minute or two. So if you were not in the giveaway, get in on it. I'm gonna go lurk and see who's actually in the giveaway. I've seen some people like chatting who are not in the giveaway. Like, does XOR? Go ahead, get in on the giveaway, man. Get in there. Got to follow the channel. Do exclamation point giveaway. I will send these toys anywhere in the world. If you are in North America, you will potentially get this dragon. If you're outside of North America, I'm going to send you a kit card similar to this, where you take the pieces apart and you actually assemble the thing yourself. Now, in this case, very different ships, but I've got Star Trek, Star Wars, I've got holiday themed things, or I've got toys like, I've got a kit card that'll basically build out into a catapult. That actually works. It's all 3D printed. Even the little springs in here, 3D printed. It'll fling things across the room pretty easily. So get in on that giveaway. And then every entry in these smaller giveaways is going to give you an entry into the bigger giveaway, and that's going to happen November 1st. So on November 1st, we're not going to be taking any new giveaway entries. Like, you can't just show up on November 1st and expect to enter the giveaway for the monthly prizes. The monthly, like, that stops. Like, the last stream I do will be your last opportunity. So I think the last Sunday, maybe I'll stream on the Monday. That Monday is Halloween, October 31st. I may do a quick stream that night, maybe. But then November 1st, Tuesday, November 1st, we're doing the drawing for the monthly giveaway. And there won't be any new entries coming in that night. If you try to do bang giveaway, it will tell you, like, sorry, the giveaway's over. So it's only good for the month of October. So you have to come to one of these daily streams in order to get any entries for the monthly giveaway. You can't show up on November 1st and do bang giveaway. You won't get any entries. So if all you want is the big monthly prize, you got to come and enter one of these. All right, well, we've only got, I think, lucky number 7. We only had a handful of people drop by. So you got a pretty good chance of winning something today. So if you are in chat, here's the thing. You will need to let me know, are you in North America? If you are, either way, you're going to need to send me a Twitch Whisper with your name and address and your email address. That's just so I can send you tracking info from the post office. But if you're not inside the United States, then I'm going to ask you more follow-up questions. If you are in the United States, I'm going to send you that dragon. Just need your address. So I'm going to go ahead and do that giveaway right now. We've been streaming for 2 hours. Let's go do the thing. Give a little audio cue. Didn't actually draw, but I'm about to draw. If you heard that sound and you're like, oh shoot, I didn't get in the giveaway, you got 30 seconds. Exclamation point giveaway. That'll give you enough time to follow the channel, do bang giveaway, and then I'm drawing. You got 20 seconds. And all again, just in case. Yep, you've already entered for today. But you got 2 entries for the monthly. All right, less than 10 seconds. You got 5 seconds left. I saw Zooey in chat, but Zooey didn't enter the giveaway. Zooey, if you're still hanging out, get in on that giveaway. What you waiting for? Got all kinds of folks. We got Taco Tuesday, Spike Trap Claire, Sniffle 6, Sea Films came by. A lot of folks came by and didn't get in the giveaway. So what happened? Do people not want a dragon today? A lot of people came by but didn't enter the giveaway. Just in case I win something, can you send me something else? Like some work swag? Maybe. Maybe. I got work swag. I got stickers. I've also got have these really fantastic socks. So I work for a company called Postman, and I've got these socks. I could probably send you a pair of socks if you want a pair of socks. If you get drawn as a recipient. No dragon for you. You live in the UK? If I'd been in the US, the dragon would have been awesome, but I'm not. Well, get in the giveaway. because there are a handful of you in Europe, how about this? Get in the giveaway. If you win today, I will send you a dragon. Send you the dragon if you're in the UK today. But only for this drawing. Only for this one. Last chance. I'm already like 2 minutes over. Last chance to get in on that giveaway. Sam Fisher got in there. Commander Cool got in there. Hughes Exor got in there. Gluten-free internet is lurking in chat but didn't enter. Robo Hubby lurking in chat but did not enter. E-Films lurking in chat but did not enter. Renee57 lurking in chat but did not enter. E-Films, good to see you. Get in that giveaway, man. I'm doing the drawing like right now. Do Bang giveaway. Get your entries in for the monthly. And we got a really cool 3D dragon to give away today. I'm just calling people out that I see lurking in chat that did not enter the giveaway. So Tiz Cloud, Taco Tuesday 7313 are all hanging out in chat. Sniffle6. Yeah, sorry, you do need to follow the channel. And that's just so you get notified that the next time I stream, you can come back to another giveaway so that you get more and more entries for the monthly giveaway. Not just the Deadpool, we got a Lego kit that we're going to give away. So yeah, get in on the giveaway. There's gluten-free. Okay, there you are. I didn't, yeah, I did. There's your entry. Okay. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to freak you out. Hello Creation, lurking in chat. Didn't enter the giveaway. SofaCal, lurking in chat. Didn't enter the giveaway. I'm doing the drawing right now. So y'all have had many minutes. Gave you lots of heads up. All right, there's Sniffle. Good timing, Sniffle. All right, so Sniffle, you got one entry for the monthly giveaway. Every time I stream, come back. So whenever you get notified that I'm going live, come back and do Bang giveaway. I normally stream Sundays and Thursdays. I will not be streaming this Thursday. I'm going to be offline starting Tuesday morning. I might get one more stream in tomorrow where I'm going to build a Lego kit or start building a Lego kit, and I'll stream again on Saturday. But other than that, I'm on vacation this week. Calla was streaming. Okay, well, I would explain why. Been working on a PowerPoint presentation for an interview. Oh, sweet. Cool. Well, I'm going to do the giveaway right now. So let's do the thing. So we will do giveaway, and then I will do giveaway daily. We got 8 entries. You got 1 in 8 chance. A pretty good chance. Drum roll, please. Commander Cool. Commander Cool, you have been chosen. Commander Cool, are you still lurking in chat? Commander Cool, let me know you're there. Commander Cool, if you are in North America, you are going to get the 3D printed dragon. But I'm only going to give them about a minute to respond. So we'll give them a minute to respond, just in case they're lurking. Commander Cool, come back to the sound of my voice. If they are lurking, we'll give them a minute to come back. But if they don't respond, I'm going to redraw. So don't go away, because I'm going to redraw. And if you're lurking and you didn't get in the giveaway and Commander Cool doesn't respond, you still have a chance to be chosen. So do Bang giveaway. How much material did it cost, the dragon and the Deadpool? So that's a great question. The dragon, I have that open right now. I don't have it open right now. The dragon, as I recall, takes about 60 meters of filament. You get about 300 meters of filament on a spool. So I can print 5 dragons per spool of filament. This rainbow filament costs about $35 a spool. So the dragon is about $7 worth of material. The Deadpool took a lot of filament. So it weighs a little over a pound. It's 1 pound, 2 ounces of filament. It made a lot more waste because I didn't tune the printer for the amount of waste that it produces in between changing colors. And so there's actually more waste than in the model itself. All said and done, it was about 1.5 kilograms of filament to make Deadpool, which at $35 a spool. So it's about $50 worth of material to make Deadpool, plus the electricity and the wear and tear in the printer and stuff like that. So the material cost alone for this dragon is about $7. It took about 9 hours to print. Normally would have taken 26 to 40 hours. Um, I had my first ever technical interview in 2 weeks. Awesome. What would I recommend to be ready for it? Hang out on my channel. That's lots of questions. Um, yeah, let me give you this. So I've got these email newsletters. They'll walk you through like technical questions, just general prep. There's also behavioral questions on there. Um, I would subscribe to that right away, and you can set how frequently you want to get the messages. I think at a minimum, it'll send you one per day. But they will talk you through like how to answer questions like tell me about yourself. They'll also cover a lot of technical questions depending on the kind of role. Most of the stuff that I write up is going to be specific to web development. But I would go check out my YouTube channel. Let me link that over here for you as well. So go check out my YouTube channel. I've got some playlists on there where I break out a whole bunch of individual questions of things that people ask in the chat all the time around how do I prepare, how do I research companies, how do I find out what questions I should ask. I've got dozens and dozens and dozens of videos on YouTube, and they're all like a couple of minutes long. So you can just go open that playlist and just keep that playlist going in the background, study through some of those questions and listen to those answers. That would be one way to prepare. Um, but yeah, I would say whatever the domain is that you're actually applying for a job, you'll want to study specific things for that. Happy to answer more questions. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn or Twitter, then you can connect with me over there. So it's on 78. Go follow me on LinkedIn or connect with me on LinkedIn or follow me on Twitter and send me a message and let me know and I can give you more specifics. So let's chat a little bit more. We never heard from Commander Cool. So follow the channel, do exclamation point giveaway. I'm going to do another giveaway drawing right now for that daily giveaway. If you're in North America, I'm going to send you a dragon, or the UK, I will send you a dragon. If you are not in North America or the UK, I will send you a kit card of some kind. Again, it'll be like a little model, like a Millennium Falcon or a Star Trek themed thing. And the Enterprise will be not quite this big, but it'll be bigger than this. I've got a handful of those things already made. So get on the giveaway. Absolutely last chance. Got to follow the channel. Exclamation point giveaway. Do it right now. I'm going to give you like 30 more seconds, then I'm going to draw again. So you got 30 seconds. Follow the channel, bang giveaway. And I'm going to do giveaway. Thanks for the follow, son. So yeah, do exclamation point giveaway. I got it written up here. So just exclamation point giveaway. Get in on that giveaway. All right. And then every time you come by a stream and you do exclamation point giveaway, I'm going to get you in the monthly giveaway where I'm giving away like Deadpool. I got a Lego kit. I got another big prize. So I'm going to be giving away at least 3 things on November 1st. So every time you come by a stream like this that I'm streaming, I'm going to be doing like a little giveaway. But every time you do Bang Giveaway, it's giving you an entry into the monthly giveaway. All right, so I'm going to do the drawing right now. Here we go. Here comes the drawing. Drum roll, please. See Sam Fisher. See Sam Fisher. You still hanging out in chat? I know you're here earlier. You were chatting. See Sam Fisher. Pretty sure you're in the United States. But confirm for me in chat that you are actually in the United States if you're still here. I told people not to leave because if we didn't hear from Commander Cool, I was going to redraw. And then I saw my viewer count drop by a bunch. That made me think that people thought Commander Cool was here and they all left. But this is why you hang around chat whenever there's a giveaway, because if they don't respond, just like C. Sam Fisher is not responding. C. Sam Fisher. Come back to the sound of my voice. Yeah, I don't think they're here either. Nope, I don't. Well, no. I mean, StreamerBot still sees them. C. Sam Fisher, you have been chosen. I'm going to give C. Sam Fisher 30 more seconds and I'm going to redraw. I got other stuff to do today. I am prepared to do another giveaway daily unless we hear from C. Sam Fisher in the next 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Redraw. All right. One more time. Does XOR, does XOR. Pretty, yeah, you're still here because you just commented a second ago. So does XOR, you have been chosen. So does XOR, are you in North America? Let's try that. Hey, Marzian, call Marzi if that's okay. So does XOR. Yep, third time's the charm. Let me know, are you in North America? You just moved to LA. Perfect. You have a dragon coming your way. So do me a favor on Twitch, send me a whisper, not to the bot, because it'll show up in chat if you send it to the bot. Send me a Twitch whisper. I need your name, your mailing address, and an email address. The only reason I need your email address is because when I buy the label on USPS, I'll put in your email address and it'll automatically send you the tracking info. So I need your name, your address, your mailing address. Send that to me in a Twitch whisper, and I will send that your way. So we're going to do a rainbow dragon as your giveaway. So give me those details as soon as you can. If you can get that to me before tomorrow morning, I'm going to go to the post office. So I'm going to box it up today, and I just got to slap the label on it. So give me that info like today, and it will go out in the mail tomorrow. You should have it by the weekend. Actually, if it's going to LA, you'll probably get it by Wednesday, Thursday. Otherwise, Commander Cool, C. Sam Fisher were all selected as recipients, but never responded. Cool deal. So send me a whisper, and we'll get that sent over your way. Let's go find. Cool. Yep, you got it. Awesome. Thanks for sending that over. I will send that by tomorrow morning. I got a handful of these other kit cards to send out tomorrow as well as some other packages. I got a big dragon. The dragon that I used to have up here behind me is going to Babe Ross. If anybody follows Babe Ross is going to get the big blue dragon with the white horns because she wanted to paint one on her stream. So I'm sending that to her. I'm sending a package to Amish Ace. So yeah, it should be fun watching them open those on their streams. So I got a whole bunch of stuff to get to the post office tomorrow. There's Amish Ace in chat right now. I'm actually gonna have to go change that username because Amish Ace is gonna get rid of the second underscore in their name. Go find somebody to raid. Let's see. Leon's online right now with the 100 devs. Probably doing his office hours, I believe. Looks like he's doing office hours, yeah. So I don't think I'll bug him for his office hours, but let's go find somebody to raid. Somebody that's doing some software. The Acorn is streaming. Botnet tracker. Somebody making an MMO game. That might be of interest to Math Plus Games. Who else is online? Free Heathen doing some design. DB3D Dan hanging out. Shell Codes. I don't think we've raided into Shell Codes in a while. What do they work on today? Hacktoberfest. Kits. Fox is online doing game dev. So Math Plus Games, if you don't follow Lana Lux, that would be a good channel to follow. Go follow Lana Lux. I'll tag them in chat. Math Plus Games, go follow Lana. They're a really, really good game developer. They do like game development almost every single day on their stream. They're like building out a game and doing some really cool stuff with that. What else we got going on? Who else is online that we can go raid? Doing some kind of coding or some sort of tech. No Codes isn't actually coding. We'll go right over to Acorn. All right, we're gonna raid over to Acorn. Make some noise and chat over there. Raid Acorn. Cool. We'll see you over on that channel. They're working on a side project right now. Very chill stream. Really good programmer. Really good person to get to know. So we'll go right over there. We'll see you over there in a moment. I'm going to hang out and chat there for a little bit, and then I got some stuff I got to take care of today for my trip this week. So I will not be streaming Thursday. I'm going to try to stream tomorrow, and I will definitely stream on Saturday. Thanks again for putting up with the camera issues when I first started streaming. Have a great day, everybody, and good night if you're over in the UK. We'll catch you all next time, and have a great rest of your weekend. Have a super week, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.